Okay, so let's see where we are in the grand scheme of things here. We have printed a value to the screen that we have stored in memory and then fetched it out of there. And I hope this part was apparent, what was going on there. Let me be a little more explicit. Maybe if I marked up my code a little better here. So we're writing a value into memory, then we're going to fetch the character value from memory. There, yeah, and then here add an offset for text. Yeah, there, okay. There, now you can save that under the name of your choice. I like to, 2 a.m. sometimes it isn't always obvious why you did something, whatever. Next, let me just for visual reference go over here and open, go back to in lessons, jump note 0. Yeah, this is the one that prints out everything on the screen, isn't it? Just paste it all over that. Save that, have a look real quick. Yeah, that's a bit grainy. Why? Because we're in 256 color mode. Let me set that to 7 there. Save that. Yeah, looking good. So there's our reference there. Let me also jump note 0. If I'm looking for something, I'm going to save a second copy of this here in case I'm looking for how to print all characters. Yeah, then I'll have that reference in there. Much easier to find when I'm looking for answers. Okay, so there's our reference. Here, let me go back. There, that's where we were. Like that. Yeah, sorry. Add offset for text, yes. So, as you know, we have a value here. If we use that value to pull one of our character codes, we would get 0, 1, 2, Mr. Happy here, right? So if I wanted to print a number, I would want to be all the way down here in the character codes, right? So I'd want to add this many spaces to get there, but I didn't know how many spaces it was. Here I just kind of penciled it in, but of course, as you know, we can go look it up. There's the ASCII table, and it starts out with a bunch of command codes, control characters at the beginning, and then we get down to some symbols. Here we go. 0 starts at 48, so I could have just as easily have put the explicit value for the computer in there, 48, and got the same results. Likewise, if I wanted to say start at A here, I could put in 65, right? Or I could just as easily say starting at A, right there. And one more thing, if I want small letters, I can start at 97A. See there, I'm going to get this out of the way for now. There, so yeah, so if I wanted, I got control, alt, release grab, okay. There, so this is an offset value, right? I'm saying how many spaces to get to the number, what did I say, 45, or, gosh darn, boy, do not click in here, it just drags everything to a halt. Capital A, I can say starting from A, and then if I print the value, I'll get, A would be 0, right, 1, 2, C, see, if I started from here, I could use the numerical value, or I could put A in there. Save that. And I don't need the reference any longer, so it should print. C in the lowercase, right? So in each case, I'm changing the offset. I'm describing the here, like for instance, before we were using an index where I said index position, right? But that's not really the correct terminology. It should be segment and offset, right? Like that, right? So here we're defining a segment, or we're going to a segment in memory, right? And then here, each line of this is an offset from that segment. See, so likewise, just to use the correct terminology, here this is our offset. An offset of 2, starting at the segment of text of printable characters. This value there. So so the memory thing works in a similar way. We jump to a segment in memory and then define how many places over for various code examples. So let's move on here. I should just stop there and make the next one its own recording.